Have you ever tried to make that incredible, smoky, spicy Nigerian roadside suya at home only for it to fall flat? Yeah, you are definitely not alone. It's a super common frustration. Well, that's what we're here to do today. We are going on a quest to solve that mystery and unlock the secrets that make authentic suya just so special.
And that frustration, it is so real. So many home cooks feel like there's some secret ingredient or some hidden technique they're just not getting. And you know what? They're right. So let's break down exactly what that something is.
You know, the gap between what we make in our kitchens and the real deal you get from Nigerian vendors, the ones known as maracas, it can feel massive, right? But here's the thing. It's not about some impossible to find ingredient or a magical grill. It's about understanding the method behind the magic.
That's right, 90%. The solution isn't some crazy, complex culinary puzzle. It really just comes down to fixing a few key mistakes in the spice blend, the meat prep, and the way you cook it. And today, we're going to pull back the curtain on every single one of them.
Okay, first things first, it all starts with a spice blend. The heart and soul of any authentic suya is a very specific mix called yaji. Honestly, if you get this wrong, the whole thing's a bust before you even think about lighting the grill. So let's break this down. A staggering 60% of real yaji is ground peanuts, but its job goes way beyond just flavor. This high peanut content is basically engineered to create this amazing protective crust that keeps the meat from burning on the open flame. And here it is. This is probably the biggest secret that most international recipes completely miss. The base isn't just any old ground peanuts. It's kuli kuli. It's a peanut cake that has all the oil pressed out. And this one detail, it is an absolute game changer. So why does this matter so much? Well, think about it. Regular peanuts are full of oil. They just turn into this greasy paste that slides right off the meat and burns. But kuli kuli, because it's defatted, you get this beautiful dry powder. That is the stuff that forms the signature crust that sticks to the meat and chars perfectly. So once you've got that kuli kuli base locked in, every other ingredient has a specific job to do. African bird's eye chili, that gives you that authentic, kind of creeping heat. Ginger and garlic create that aromatic foundation, and a little smoked paprika adds that touch of smokiness that really mimics the traditional open fire cooking. But, you know, having the perfect yaji is only half the battle. It's totally useless if you don't treat the meat right. And that brings us to our second big secret. How you prepare the meat is just as important as the spice. Okay, choosing the right cut of meat is absolutely key. Beef sirloin, that's the classic, and look at that, a 95% success rate when you do it right. But pay attention to those marination times. You see how chicken needs way less time than beef or lamb? That's to stop it from getting mushy. And listen up, because this right here is the golden rule. I mean, it is non-negotiable no matter what cut you're using. You have to slice the meat thinly, about 1/4 of an inch, and always, always against the grain. It's simple science, really. You're physically shortening the muscle fibers, and that's what guarantees your suya is tender, not tough and chewy. All right, now here's a pro tip, straight from the vendors on the streets of Lagos. The double coating method. They don't just marinate it once. A first layer of yaji goes on to really penetrate the meat, and then a second, final coating gets applied right before it hits the fire. This creates an unbelievably deep flavor crust that you just can't get from a single marinade. And a really important warning, especially if you're making chicken suya. Do not marinate it for more than 4 hours. Seriously, any longer and the marinade will just start to break down the chicken's texture, and you're going to end up with a mushy result. Nobody wants that. Okay, so we've got our perfect yaji, we've prepped our meat like a pro. Now for the final secret, the cooking. Mastering the fire is what brings all these pieces together and turns them into authentic suya. So the first thing you gotta do is forget about blasting your grill on high heat. That's a super common mistake. Real suya is cooked over a consistent medium heat, right around 375 degrees Fahrenheit. That's the sweet spot. It cooks the meat all the way through while perfectly charring that yaji crust without making it taste bitter. And the good news is, you don't need some crazy special grill to do this. You can get authentic results on pretty much any equipment, as long as you control that heat. If you're using charcoal, just wait until the coals are white and ashy. Gas grill, throw in some wood chips to get that crucial smoke flavor. And believe it or not, you can even get amazing results on a screaming hot cast iron skillet. All right, this next step, it might just be the hardest one, patience. You've got to let the suya rest for just 3 minutes after it comes off the grill. This lets all those juices redistribute back through the meat, guaranteeing every single bite is juicy and tender. Do not skip this step.
Okay, we've unlocked the 3 big secrets. There's just one final piece to the puzzle, and that's serving your suya exactly like you'd get it on a bustling street corner in Nigeria.
First off, forget the fancy plates. Real suya is street food, through and through. It's handheld, traditionally wrapped in a piece of foil, and it's always served with fresh, crunchy toppings like thinly sliced red onion and tomato. They provide this amazing, cool contrast to the spicy, smoky meat. And a final squeeze of lime at the end just cuts through the richness and makes all those flavors pop.
And to really complete the whole experience, you need the right drink. A chilled, non-alcoholic malt drink is the classic pairing. Or you could go for a sweet and tart hibiscus tea, which is known as zobo. Both are absolutely perfect for cooling your palate and just balancing out that intense spice from the yaji.
So there you have it. It's not magic, is it? It's method. From that coolie base, to the double coating trick, to that crucial 3-minute rest, you literally have the entire blueprint now. The only question left is, what are you waiting for?